How's it? Aloha and welcome to High Now Daily. I'm Kainoa Carlson. Welcome to a special edition. What a show.
Oh, Rachel Ko'ino, and today we're welcoming our Kaia'ulu votes to the studio for a live town hall discussion about civic engagement and the issues facing Hawaii. I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, we have a heck of a show planned. Now, you may have seen our Kaia'ulu votes in the news recently. It's an Oiwi-led movement to inspire civic engagement among all of Hawaii's people. In fact, just last week, take a look at that. Hundreds rallying across all Opio as part of their Walk to the Box campaign. How cool is that?
So inspiring. We'll be covering a range of topics throughout the show. We'll be moderating the conversations for two of the groups.
But not just us, right?
No, we got Mihana Hai here. She will be moderating one of the groups as well.
Mahalo nui. Thank you for being here.
Mahalo for being
Mahalo.
here.
Well, no, I'm Mihana Okala-Hein. I'm the Senior Advisor to the CEO at the Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement. Thank you guys for inviting me here today.
Woo-hoo. Thank you for showing up. We're so happy to be getting on with this show. It is amazing to see all the Opio join us today because we would love to hear what is on their mind. So very excited.
That's right. Now, today we're going to meet students from across the Pae'aina. Take a look.
Aloha nui, my name is Kamaha'o Halemanu. I am a student at Kamehameha Schools Hawaii and this year a senior, and I am from the Big Island of Hawaii.
Aloha mai, ovo Kuila Benz Mars, no ho'i hilo a haleoi ke kula o ka'u me ke ka'eo ma ke o kaha.
Aloha, o ke aloi holomalia ko'inoa, hele au I ke kula o ka ume ke kaʻeo ma ka mokupuni a Hawaii, a aia o ma ka papa umi kumalua.
Aloha mai kākou o ka ano I wā ko'u inoa, no kane o he oahu mai au, a hele au I ke kula nui ma Windward.
Aloha o ka kukalahale ko'u inoa, no ka pālama o ahu mai au, hele au ma ke kula nui o Shamana mai Kaimuki.
Aloha pumehana kākou. My name is Kahio Takahashi. I am a junior at Kamehameha Schools Kapālama, and I am from the island of Oahu.
Aloha mai kākou, ea mai au o Clea Kazera. Hele au I ke kula kaiapuni o Puahala, a noho au ma o Oahu.
Aloha mai kākou, I'm Reese Kainoa Kauhialamakani Dean. I'm from Kula, Maui, and I'm a senior at Kamehameha Schools Maui.
Aloha, oi mai Kalani Kramer. I'm from Maui and I'm a senior at Kamehameha Schools Maui.
Aloha mai kākou o ke alana puhi ko'u inoa, no kailua kona Hawaii mai au, hele au I ke kula o ehunui Kaimalino, a aia au ma ka papa o Umikumalua.
Aloha, my name is Keanu Latu. I'm from the island of Oahu and I'm a junior in Pacific.
Aloha mai and aho maka maka. I'm Carla Skonia. I'm from Kaneohe, Oahu, and I'm a second-year student at Wilmard Community College.
Okay, so that is the group gathered over here today. And so Haumana are going to be participating in a variety of different discussions and different topics as well. And the first one up, we're going to be talking about leadership and running for office. We want to welcome in our first pod of Haumana. This is Kamaha'o, Kahiao. Imai is sitting over here as well as Kuila. Mahalo nui for being here, gang, and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us on.
Okay, so we got a lot of topics to get to. So let's kick it off with leadership and running for office. Kamaha'o, let's start with you, brother. On November 5th, it's going to be election day, where these elected people will head into office and steer Hawaii into the future. What qualities do you think make for a Pono leader?
Qualities that make a Pono leader, I think it just comes down to the idea of empathy and understanding that the perspective and point of leadership is that it's not something that you do just to boost your college applications or, you do it just so it's a popularity thing. It's a service, ala ka'ilawe lawe, servant leadership. So I think as a leader, the most important thing is about understanding that you don't just serve yourself, you serve everyone who you have to support that lives in your area or that lives in your country, or in this case, that lives in your state. So that's the most important trait for leadership, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Kaheo, expand a little bit more on that as we think November 5th is coming up here in less than 2 weeks.
I think that Kamaha'o really hit the nail on the head with it. I think the most important quality of a Pono leader is intention. You want leaders in power that are there for service. Leadership is a service opportunity. It's not a job opportunity. You want leaders that are there to listen to their constituents, leaders that are there to lead their people with the right na'au and the right mindset.
Imai, how about you? What qualities are important when you think about a passionate and Pono leader?
I think Kamaha'o and Kahio both had great points. I think also like a servant leader, someone who will be in the field working with the community, not just giving them orders or telling them what they should do. Being there with them is a good way to build that that respect and have more followers.
Many working hands coming together.
Exactly.
And that's a big part of leadership as well, is collaboration. That's why forums like this are so important for the local community to come together. Kawila, how about you, bro? What's important when you think about leadership and the vision for Hawaii as we move forward?
So I believe that a good leader is somebody who people can depend on to take care of their community, and just everybody that is involved with them to, yeah.
Yeah, and when we talk a lot about leadership, Kawila, and I want to go back to you, because when we're thinking about leadership, oftentimes we think it can come from anywhere. Do you think age is important when it comes to leadership? Why or why not?
I believe that age isn't the big thing. It's more about maturity level and how much you're willing to put into taking care of your community, and how much you're willing to sacrifice for the better of everybody else.
That's right, sacrifice, great answer. I want you to hand that to Imai and expand a little bit more on when you think about leadership, is there an age that's attached to it?
I don't think there is. I think leadership just comes from within, and like you can start from very young. I think everyone has their own like
timing and pacing when they step into it.
Exactly. Like for me, at least, when I'm growing up, I always look at like the upperclassmen. For like now that I'm a senior, I look up to college people or those in that are doing good in the community. So I think leadership doesn't have an age. You don't need to be old, young. It just starts whenever.
Leadership can come from everywhere. Kahia, what do you think?
I think that they made really good points about how leadership doesn't necessarily have an age attached to it. And I think the most important thing about creating these great young leaders and OEV leaders is starting them young and teaching these leadership qualities and these leadership mindsets to such young people, because when they grow up, these are the leaders that will lead our lahui. And if we start them young, we get to foster that love for service and love for their people from a very young age.
Absolutely. That's why today we are literally sitting with the future of Hawaii and what is to come. Kamaha will expand.
And just, tagging off of what everyone else just mentioned, totally agree with it. And also, I feel like another aspect to it is also experience. You can get experience in leadership at the age of 5. You can get experience in the leadership at the age of 20, 30, and just understanding that leadership leaves an imprint on you will allow you to leave leadership and imprint onto someone else.
That's right, legacy, leaving something behind. I want you to take that mic. We're going to pass it right over here to Kahiel. And I got a tough one for you. Now, as we continue to talk about leadership and what's taking place on November 5th, would you ever consider running for either local or state government?
I've definitely thought about it before, and I'm kind of just going along, with the tide. Wherever life takes me, if that's where I end up, then I will definitely, do my best, put my best foot forward. But I think that no matter what I do in life, I definitely want to take on a leadership role and use my talents and my strengths and my passions to enhance the lahui in the best way that I can.
Okay, I love that. Imai, can you expand on that? We know you're a basketball brother, but is politics maybe in the future for you?
I haven't really given much thought. I think I definitely want to be an educator, so I want to teach kids, whether that be like about the political side or just like education in general. But I don't know what life has in store for me, but if it comes up, I would gladly take the opportunity.
Kawila, how about you?
So I believe that my strengths lie in things outside of politics. Like I grew up around the Aina and the ocean, so I would try to do my best in focusing on being an alakai or a leader outside of politics.
Okay, well, fantastic, you guys. Thank you so much. This is the very first part of Haumana sitting down to join us currently. We're going to head to break right now, but stay with us on High Now Daily. Coming up after the break, Mehana Hind will be back as we continue to talk about our Kaya Ulu votes. We'll be right back. Right on.
mahalo ho ya o ko e na Hawaii. O wau o me hano ka lahain o ke ia ko uhui o na haumana mai ke kula kai o puni mai. Yeah, so no laila, e wala au Hawaii paha, e wala au o lelo haole paha, aia lako. O ke e ko umauhoa, o ka anoi, o ka lia, o ke alohi, a me ke alana. Yeah, so e homaka ana me oi e ka anoi. He aha ka mo'olelo mai nā kupuna mai e pili ana ka civic engagement me ke koho palota.
Hi, mahalo. So when we go back and we look at, nā mo'olelo, two stand out to me. 1874, the election between King Kalakaua and Queen Emma.
Oh, kaulana loa ke la.
You have both sides with Kanaka supporting the ideals that they believe in. So I think that can be referenced today. And it doesn't mean that everybody's going to vote for the same person. It's the idea that everybody is participating.
Oh, yeah.
And another is Kahui Aloha Aina, the Ku'e petitions. We had almost over 21,000 signatures. So that just shows how we alulike as a lahui back then and how that is very important, especially now. And I know today we in society focus on the individualism, but that's not representative of our kupuna and what they believed in. So I think looking back to the past is so imperative for us today.
Mahalo ka anoi. Okay, tita. Nga ke alana. Pihea. O ka civic engagement, o ke la ke kuleana a ka opio, ai a ole paha ai paha, ya ko manao.
Ai o ka civic engagement ko mako or ko kako kuleana oyai, or because we are this generation's leaders. Our kupuna before us, our makua, they've carved a path for us, and now they expect us to carve a path for our future generations to share our voice and our concerns about our pai'aina and our lahui.
You guys are giving me chicken skin right now, okay? So mahalo nui for that. Okay, tita, kalia, yeah? He ake kuleana aka opio.
I think our kuleana as an OPO is to constantly use our voice and our resources that we have. Like, for example, this panel right now, this is a huge resource for us to get our leo out there, to get our opinions from an OPO's point of view, Because, not everyone has the same point of view, but you get to see it from our view, how we can change this generation, how we can improve and constantly, share our mana'o so we can have a better future for all of us.
Mahalo, ako may loa ke la. Mahalo. Okay, tita, ke lohi nani. He haka mana'o nui, o ka wala'au ana ma ka hale, or ma ke kaia ulu, he haka mea nui a kako. E nā oiwi, a me nā malihini, a me nā po'e apau ma Hawaii.
No laila, ike ia he mau pilikia a ole ho'okahi elua. He mau pilikia e ike ia mau ana kaia ulu, mau ana ano lahui like ole ka lahui Hawaii waleno a ka ona me elua e no'ono koke oia ka a'o, education a me ke kumuku ai o ka noho ana, ai ole ka noho ana ma Hawaii, ma ke ano he kanaka Hawaii. I ke mala he mau koina no ke kuai ana, hiki au ke wala'o na ano pilikia o Hawaii, a ka pela e kokua ai ka civic engagement, ma ke ano he ka lokahi ana o ka lahui, e like me ka olelo, a ka anoi, ka hui pu o ka lahui, ke kaiulu a mena kanaka, I hiki ke ho'i ke ho'omaopopo I ka hana ana kupuna ma ka wamamua, ua alu like kako no laila. E like me ka olelo no e au kaulana loa o ke kahua mamua, ma hopi ke kukulu. No laila kukulu kako I ke kahua e ana ma koe kukulu ana ke kai kahua hiki ke ho'oka oe a ho'omau.
Oh, mai ka'iloa. So we're not only talking about, when we're talking about important issues, we're not only talking about the problems, right? That's your mana'o nui, is that it's not only the problems, it's the solutions that are being brought to the table, right? And you reference back to our kupuna and it's engaging, right? Engage, understand, right? Make time to understand the issues that concern our ohana and our communities and all of Hawaii. Yeah? Oh, mahalo. Tita, do you have another mana'o to add to that about what are some important topics that are being discussed in our homes?
Yeah, you know what? I kind of want to go back to that ola no'ea o ke kahua mamua, mahope ke kukulu. That's a huge ola no'ea that I like to use every day. You know, our kupuna has built this kahua for us, and they purposely built that so they know that our OPO can build upon that and show that, you know, us Hawaiians are smart. We have a future to come, a great future, and that we have so much potential in this world.
Oh my goodness, they're gonna put us out of a job pretty soon. Mahalo nui, you guys, yeah? You're watching High Now Daily, and we will be right back with some more mana'o from these brilliant haumana. Aloha.
Aloha and welcome back to High Now Daily and this incredible takeover by our Kaia'ulu votes. Joining me now is a few more haumana from across the state, and I'm very happy to introduce that we've got Reese, we've got Keanu, we've also got Ka'ua and Carly, and I know you have a lot on your minds, especially with election just weeks away, November 5th. Are you folks ready for this? Yes, okay, let's start with you here on this side. Reese, let's talk about how social media has been playing a huge role, not in only in our everyday lives for personal use, but how it helps us stay engaged civically. Your thoughts?
Right, so looking at social media as a whole, it's still a relatively newer platform for us to share our thoughts on. And I think looking at it from civically, there's just as important as we need to learn how to produce media, we also need to learn how to consume media. Because I feel that, especially in politics, you know, there's a lot of opinions and facts, and we need to be able to decipher truth from lie as well. So I think the most important thing regarding social media is just to be able to decipher that and build our own opinions.
Beautiful. And then let's move over to you here, Keanu. What's your thoughts on social media? You're only 15 years old. You are way ahead of the game when it comes to learning about lawmakers, the change that needs to be happening here in Hawaii. Tell me a little bit about how you use social media to help you along that path.
Personally, I use social media just to connect maybe with the rest of my community about these specific topics. Like, I'll connect with family and friends about this. I'll talk with them. Yeah.
Stay connected, right? Communication and being able to use social media and this platform to learn a little bit more. You mentioned facts and fiction. So I'm gonna move over to you, Carly. How do you use social media for your everyday and specifically now that the general election is coming up on November 5th?
Yeah, so I use social media just to stay connected with friends and family, but I also use it as a news entity like many others might do in this generation. And just building off on what my host said over there, it's important to be factual, not fictional, and just making sure that everything that we're learning is accurate, especially with all this political information that is coming our way.
When it comes to fact and fiction, how are you fact checking all of this?
Oh yeah. So if I see something and I may think it's a bit fictional, it's always important to go on other entities and just double check that everything is accurate and everything is lining up.
Yeah, how about for you, Kawa?
Personally, I have Instagram and TikTok. Both are very helpful, but at the same time, kind of go back to what Carly was saying, trying to figure out what's fictional versus factual. I think for me, especially on Instagram, I'm getting all these different news stories, even from Hawaii News Now. You don't even have to go on the television anymore. You just whip out your phone and pull it out. So it's very informational, but again, kind of figure out what is real and what's fake.
Now, has social media been helpful? You mentioned yes, but has it also been hurtful? I know for young students out there and Keiki on social media, what are your thoughts on that?
I think especially, well, I'll give an example. On TikTok, a lot of young OPO are on TikTok now. I think because of all the videos that are coming through, it's just really good to see all this information coming down, but again, it could be kind of a little dangerous, once again, because we don't know what's real or what's not. So it's good to check just to make sure it's factual. One way is, I think it's on a lot of social media platforms now, is to see if the account is verified. Something very important to check. Yeah.
All right, and Reese, what about for you? Any thoughts on that? Helpful, hurtful?
I think when deciphering what's helpful or hurtful is to look into the background of these accounts and see their history, if they're reliable or not. As a producer of social media, it's important to build a reliable standing, because say we post something that isn't truthful and is bad, and then we try to promote something that actually is reasonable, people might not take us seriously because of that past. So I think it's important to always pay attention to what we're doing at all times in order to be truthful.
And then we were talking earlier about bridging the gap between our kupuna who may not have social media, and then of course us who may be on TikTok, on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it might be. How can we bridge that and be able to maybe educate our kupuna, bring them in so that they can see what we do there?
Oh, for me, I feel like it's important that when we hang out with our kupuna, we take that time as an opportunity just to share with them or engage with them in social media, just to open up that aspect to them.
Nice. Honey, what about for you?
Personally, I think it's really important, like we were talking about, that it's really important that our kupuna get onto social media, maybe, or that we show them social media. I think it could help them a lot with connecting to us, connecting to the rest of the world.
Awesome. And then my last question for you folks, talking about the change makers, the lawmakers, what should they be doing when it comes to social media? How can they help with alleviating the problems when it comes to using social media with our youth? I'll move to you.
Okay. I think engaging again more in social media, because all of the OPO and young people tend to be on it more instead of watching a television. So yeah, and I think it's good to have it on social media. One, because most social media platforms now have comments, and there's so many different thoughts and opinions that can be put in those comments. So yeah, I think it's really cool about that.
And then how about for you, if you hadn't heard, Carly?
Oh yeah. I think that for civic engagement, it would be important for our older leaders to see that younger generations are using these social media platforms, and they can jump on it as well to reach out to us. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you to all you four here joining me today. Of course, so much more here on Hi Now Daily. It is the takeover, our Kaia'ulu votes. Come back and join us. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more of Hi Now Daily.
How's it? Aloha mai kako, and welcome back to High Now Daily, our Kaya Ulu Votes edition of High Now today. It's been an incredible show so far. Opio from across the Pai Aina have gathered to talk about a variety of different topics and conversations from their point of view. I'm joined again right now by Kuila, Imai, Kahiao, and Kamaha'o. And this next topic is one that we're currently facing right now. And it's a tough one, brother Imai. So in 2020, census found for the very first time in history more Native Hawaiians living away from here on the continent than here in the islands in Hawaii. Why do you think Ohana are leaving?
I think the main reason would be the cost of living, specifically like cost of housing. The prices have been like skyrocketing recently, and even like available housing, especially like in Maui, where we just had our fires a year ago, and people are looking for houses, and even like renting is expensive, so it's easier for them to move away to cheaper states than stay home.
Cost of living is something that continues to face not just this generation, but perhaps into the future as well. Kowila, why do you think Ohana are leaving?
Well, just like Kamaha'o said, or not Kamaha'o, sorry, but
Brother Imai, yes, go ahead.
Imai. Cost of living. Personally, I have a couple of family members that have moved away for cost purposes. It just got too expensive and they weren't able to live here. And another being just how many houses were occupied and weren't,
Yeah, we're continuing to see it. It's tough to find housing. Also, the cost of living here in Hawaii as well. Kamaha'o, what do you think?
On top of cost of living, we also got to look at another cause, which is also how we have Native Hawaiians who graduate high school. They outmigrate out of Hawaii to go and attend college somewhere else. So it's more than just the cost of living, but also seeking education, because some universities on the continental United States, they offer programs that maybe we don't have. There's also the concept of brain drain, There's East Coast schools on the east, and then, Hawaii doesn't have that. So it's also about our Kanaka seeking education that also causes outmigration.
I agree. Polole, and then how about you? What do you think?
I think to circle it up and round it up with what everyone said, of course, cost of living is extremely high here. And as we know, in Hawaii, the cost of living is higher than in most places in the United States. So when, like Kamaha'o said, people graduate high school, they go off and they seek higher education. To come back here and to move back to Hawaii and to live here, it's very difficult, and for many people it's not always financially feasible for them to move back if they've moved away, or they simply just have to leave because they can't afford to make a living here and to live a good life.
And it is a hard thing because, as we all know, growing up and living in Hawaii, there is nothing like Hawaii. And Hawaii needs us here, needs Hawaiians here. So let me ask you, Kahia, when you think about the current situation, what's taking place right now, what can our policy and our lawmakers do to help address this pilikia we're facing?
I think the most important thing for policymakers and lawmakers to consider when trying to address this problem is creating opportunity. Like Kamaha'o said, there are opportunities outside of Hawaii. There are opportunities that you can't find here. There are opportunities to live a more financially stable life. So thinking about how do we create those opportunities here? How do we make it feasible and possible for Hawaiians to gain those opportunities while still living on their paeaina?
I agree. Okay, Imai, what do we need to do to keep Hawaiians and people here at home?
Talking about the housing aspect of it, I think maybe like with renters having like a cap at the price that homeowners can rent out houses, so that at a price where the homeowner benefits, because some homeowners are making most of their income off of renting houses, but also so that they can benefit as well as the renter. But also there's like building more affordable houses, but then poses the argument that you're taking away more land, or like more of our land. But my thought process is Hawaii without Hawaiians.
That's right. Kuila, expand a little bit more on that, and what can be done right now as we continue to face this pilikia?
So, can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. Yeah. So as we look at the census right now, with so many Hawaiians moving to the continent, if you're a policy or a lawmaker right now, what needs to happen, do you think, to keep people here at home, Kuila?
Possibly creating sustainable, sources for Hawaiians to live here without having such a big struggle of financial struggle, and being able to own housing rather than other people from outside buying in.
Right, sustainable sources of income that can keep people here in Ohana in Hawaii. Kamaha'o, I want to go back to you. When you think about your folks' generation right now, many of you gathered for portions of this today are seniors. So you guys are about to head to college. When you think about the generation, keeping your folks' generation here in Hawaii, what has to happen?
just to keep the generation here in Hawaii, if you want to go away from Hawaii to learn, to gain more experience, by all means do so. But understand that we need Hawaiians in Hawaii. So please come back is the main thing. And also understand that the children are the future.
That's right. Look right at the camera and Hana hold that one more time.
The children are the future.
That's right. The children are the future.
Exposing them to exposing middle schoolers or elementary students to our legislative sessions that we have, and getting them to know and network our current politicians, our current Native Hawaiian politicians, is kind of also the key to having lawmakers and policymakers make the change that Hawaii needs to address this out-migration issue.
That's right. And with that being said, we just want to look directly into the camera and Hana and say, kids are the future. That's what today's show is all about. Hey, mahalo nui so much for the time. We're going to head to break right now, take a quick break. You're watching Hi Now Daily, our Kaya Ulu Votes. We'll be right back. My Kaya gang. And welcome back to Hi Now Daily. So the topic that we have to discuss, my beloved group here, is one of the topics that for generations we've been dealing with. And now we have some important questions for your folks' generation. And that topic is tourism, right? Almost 10 million tourists arrived in Hawaii in 2023, right? And people who are in support of tourism always say it's important for our economy. It's important for our livelihoods. We all know somebody that's impacted by the tourism industry. And people who are detractors of that position, are saying, well, yeah, but it does, tremendous harm to our aina, to our vai, to our kai, and to our quality of life, right? So the question that I have for you folks, right, and I'm expecting, for you guys to change the world for us here, no, but no pressure. The question I have for you guys is, should tourism be our number one industry? Do you guys think so? Ka'anoi, how about you?
I kou mana'o, ano pa'akiki, ke la ninau. Aka I ko'u mana'o ke nana oi I ke ia mau hokele a ole nui na kanaka Hawaii ke alaka'i nei ke la mohana.
Oh yeah.
He mea ko'i ka ha'awi ana I kekahi mau kala ai ole makana I na kanaka e a'e I noho ma Hawaii nei. No ka mea a'ohe he pilina me keia oi hana. I ko'u mana'o hiki no a ka pono e kukulu I keia pilina me ka po'e Hawaii ma Hawaii nei.
Mahalo for that, right? And your point being that, you know, we have all these hotels, we have this industry, but we don't have Hawaiians who are leading those industries, right? And that's for where I work at the Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement, right? We kind of took that head on and we're trying to help answer that question and solve for that too. And you're saying, yep, we can have tourism here in Hawaii if we can somehow build amongst our community that leadership that will then benefit from tourism, right? Because the alaka'i that are coming from outside of Hawaii and they don't necessarily have a connection to Hawaii, but they're leading this particular industry, right? How about you, Kalana? You have mana'o about this?
It's kind of like an I and a ole. It's a really hard question to answer, but I feel like tourism in Hawaii is like a double-edged sword. It can be harmful to us, but we can also benefit from it. I mean, take Ironman for example. It happened like around 2 days ago. I know a few clubs from Hawaii, volleyball clubs, who are any kind of club for keiki, who go and fundraise so that they could travel and play tournaments or all that kind of stuff. But again, where is the money from the Ironman going to? Are they going to hotels? Are they going to Kanaka? Just where is that money going to?
Right, where does the money flow to, and is it coming back into our communities? Right, Kealohi, do you have anything to expound upon that?
I ko'u mana'o o kekai mea ko'i loa o ia ke kalele ole ana maluna o ana pa'oe hana ho'okipa malihini a ka ho'i ana I na ano pa'oe hana kuloko Hawaii no leila ke la ano local businesses no ka mea he ike koka Hawaii koka po'e Hawaii ma ke la me ke kaiulu o ko ka ike o ko ana mana'o o ko ana oihana I hiki ke kāko'o ai ka po'e o Hawaii a me ka po'e kipa mai ana I Hawaii I hiki ke ho'onui I ke la mana'o a ole pono e kalele nui ma ke la oihana o ka ho'okipa malihini I hiki ke ola ma Hawaii I hiki a maku ke loa I na ana kumu vai ma Hawaii.
Mahalo ana like ko mana'o e ka anoi. So pehea, Tita Kalia, he nina hou ke ia. Can tourism be regenerative? Is there a way that we can make tourism in Hawaii be regenerative?
In my opinion, you know, I really don't have a mana'o on this, but I'll share what I do know. Possibly yes, you know, just support our local businesses, give to the aina and the aina will give back. You know, he ali'i ka aina, he kawa ke kanaka. And be respectful of our aina. You know, I don't mind you coming here. I don't mind sharing my culture. I don't mind sharing hula, the aina, but be respectful. Have kuleana. Know that this isn't your home. You can't just throw trash everywhere. It's not your home. I would never come to your home and do that. So why do it to mine? Just be respectful and, you know, we'll have respect back.
So regenerative tourism starts with malama. Yeah, malama aina, malama I ka vai, malama ke kahi I ke kahi. Those are the values and lessons that our aina offers, and those are the things that if we start with that, we can move forward. Mahalo nui, and we'll be right back.
Aloha and welcome back to Hi Now Daily, the Our Kaia'ulu Votes takeover, and it is a takeover in the best possible way. We've got a bunch of students here from across Hawaii, and they're here to share their thoughts with the general election just coming up on November 5th. Ballots have landed in mailboxes and voter service centers are open, and I know you folks have been doing your part and organizing some very interactive events. First one being Walk to the Box. Now I'm going to start with you, Reese. Tell me a little bit about your experience, and for those who may not know, what is Walk to the Box?
Hi. So our Kaia'ulu Votes being a coalition of schools and community organizations to promote voting. Walk to the Box is one of these events that we hold where a couple of schools come together to actually go to the center and vote and promote voting publicly, where we line up on the side of the road with posters, throwing shaka and honking horns, and it's just to get our community involved.
Cool, so that happened across the state, and you were involved with that as well. Even though you're only 15 years old, you're not quite there when it comes to actually putting in the vote. You were still there doing your thing and making your voice heard. Tell me about that experience for you.
It was really fun. It was really enriching to see everybody lining up to go put their ballots in the box. It makes me really excited when I'm old enough to vote. Just excited to be there.
Yes, yeah. Well, thank you so much, Keanu. I'm going to move over to you because you are almost there as well, but you're registered, and that's you took a big step for when it is your turn. You are ready and waiting, right? What was that experience like?
Yeah, so I'm currently only 17 years old, so I'm just right under the mark to vote this year, almost there next year. But at my high school, we had a promotion where you would, because you're under 18, if you register to vote, they'll give you a free shirt. And it's not just a plain shirt, it's a shirt that says, "I'm Hawaiian and I vote." So I think it was really cool to have that fun aspect, for young Opio to have, to want to vote, to want to be registered to vote. So yeah, it was such a cool opportunity, and having ways to incorporate just having fun ways to get the OPO excited about voting.
Absolutely. Earlier in the show, we were talking about social media and how you use social media to stay engaged civically. You were mentioning, even though you weren't there at Walk to the Box, you were also watching online.
Yeah, so using the source as social media, specifically Instagram, I was able to see a bunch of accounts posting from news channels to even Kanae Okana of the event that happened, the Walk in the Box. It was so cool to see online. And yeah, just to see all these young Opio lined up and all these cars driving by and honking their horns, I could just imagine being in one of those cars and seeing the Opio and having that motivation now to see that, these young Hawaiians want to vote, maybe I should do it too. So such a cool event to watch.
Very, very cool. Love to hear that. And then Carly, I wanted to move over to you. All right, we're going to be talking a bit about voting for the first time. Both of you this year, your very first time. Tell me about your experience. And I know you said you made it fun with the ohana.
Yeah, so building on what my hoa said, to make voting engaging, you gotta make it fun. So personally for me, a way that me and my ohana make it fun is that we vote together. We may have my older siblings come home and we just cook dinner and we all vote together, we talk about it, we do our research together. And that's just how we get it done in a fun and loving way, yeah.
Nice, and so that means you were mail-in, is that correct?
Yes.
Mail in, awesome. And then I wanted to ask you over here, Reese, it was your first time voting as well. Tell me about your experience and how you were prepared. How did you get prepared, I should say?
Yes, so at Walk to the Box this year, I was able to vote for the very first time and actually go through the process of voting over there using their electronic devices. And honestly, it was a very nice eye-opener to know that the voting process itself is very easy, right? But I think that the most work sits in the research for these candidates. And I think the most important thing for me was to first build an understanding of my own opinions and my own stances. And I used social media to look at, what other people are posting, what candidates are posting, and see what my values correlate to. And that helped me make my decisions.
Awesome. Now, a recent community survey conducted by the Native Hawaiian Research Hui Inipono shows that about 90% of residents surveyed plan to vote in the upcoming election. Now, why do you think that voting is so important? I'm going to start over here with you, Keanu.
I think voting is really important, specifically just because you can change the world around you. You can change what happens, why it happens. It's just really,
Yeah, absolutely. The more you know, the more you can teach, and the more you talk about it, and the more change we'll hopefully see. And then Carly, you've got the mic over there. Why is voting important to you?
To me, voting is important because it gives you the opportunity to have an impact on the community around you and just see the things that you want to see move forward, yeah.
Ka'ua, how about for you?
Yeah, so especially to us as Native Hawaiians, I think it's more culturally grounded. If we look all the way back to when our kupuna would vote for Luna Lilo and all those people, I feel like it's definitely our kuleana now to fulfill that commitment, you know, especially us as OPO, and not just to make them proud, but to have our leo all the way from Hawaii and make it across the nation.
Well, you guys, you are so inspiring, and I hope that anybody watching this is going to head over to the polls and make sure that they get their vote in November 5th. Thank you so much for joining me today. Yes, pa'i-pa'i for these guys over here. We'll be right back. You're watching Hi Now Daily, our Kayo Ulu vote.
Hey, how's it, Aloha gang? Welcome back to Hi Now Daily. Rachel Picaro, Mehana Hine, reflecting on what has been such a wonderful show today.
It has been so inspiring, man. I hope everybody watching is going straight to the polls, right there, voter center, and putting their votes in if they haven't already. Man.
You know, when I was these kids' age, I was so shy. I wasn't having these conversations. We didn't talk politics.
Yeah.
They're talking about how they're not only having these discussions in schools, but they're taking it home to the dinner table.
Yes.
Having the important conversations, like, oh my God, they're just leaps and bounds ahead of us.
Okay, yeah, totally. I had two big takeaways. My first one was just that at their age, if someone's asking me, hey, bro, what you think about tourism? I'm like, I don't know. What do you think about this? You want to run for government? My next answer would be, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so polished. My second takeaway to the brothers, top tier Aloha shirts today, gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
I applaud you.
Yeah.
Looking great. I appreciate a good Aloha shirt. I was loving the attire today, too.
By the way, our attire.
I know.
We're going to be the Ninja Turtles of voting.
We are ready for November 5th, I tell you that. But I mean, it was really amazing to, like you said, hear what they had to say on their minds. Some of them not even ready or of age. They are ready, definitely ready, but of age to vote, but they're already registered. They're already taking action. And that to me is so inspiring. And I want to head to the polls right now and just put in all the votes already because that was really cool.
Mahalo to all the partners that got together that put this initiative together, our Kaya Ulu votes.
That's right, and there's still time to make your voice heard. Make sure to turn in your completed ballots to your nearest drop box or voter service center by November 5th. That's the big date.
That's right, and if you're not registered, no worries, no problem. You can register to vote on the same day at your nearest voting service center. So for more info, head to elections.hawaii.gov. And for more information on this initiative, our Kaya Ulu votes, head to vote.kanaiokana.net. Mahalo nui for watching, Mehana Rachel. What a day.
Yes, what a day. And mahalo to all the Haumana.
There it is, the stars of the show today.